Hi, welcome back. This is Diane.Boerstler. We are jumping into Module 4, which is hot button research and competitive analysis, right? This is a really critical step that a lot of sellers just kind of glaze over, right? They'll do a little bit, but they don't really dig in deep. And if we remember correctly, what sells is understanding your buyer's persona and their psychology and then being able to push those hot buttons, right? So we need to be able to go back and do this hot button research, see what they really care about, see the words they're using when they say they care about it, their trance language, and then see what your competitors, the people who buy from your competitors, what they're saying for similar products, and then put that all together so that we have a great document we can look at as we go through and we start writing, right? So we're going to write in a couple more modules, but for right now, we're going to focus on how to get the knowledge that we need to actually push those hot buttons. So let's get started. Again, legalese. You know who to share it with. If you bought it, you know who you can't share it with by now, I'm guessing. If you have any questions, let me know about that. So, let's see here. What we're doing, sorry, my screen blanked out there for a second. What we're doing is we're creating a competitive swipe file, basically. A swipe file in sales copy is something that you use to pull the best bits out of other people's sales presentations, their sales pages, their sales copy, their advertising, etc., so you can return to them later and use them. In this case, we're using our competitors' listings, and we're not going to copy them directly because that would be really bad, obviously. And we are using the testimonials that they receive, which are called reviews on Amazon, and we are using the questions they receive. And we're doing that by figuring out who roughly makes the most, and we're going to look at those people. And we're going to plug them into a competitive analysis sheet. So while I use Scope and Ace Inspector to figure this out, you may have, there are other tools you may have that are tools that tell you how much money approximately someone is making with their product every single month. And if you don't have one of those tools, that's fine. What you can do is just type in the main keyword and then look at the top couple of non-sponsored, right? The unsponsored results that are showing up that are relevant to your product. You can guess because they're showing up page 1 that they're making some pretty good money. Okay, so we're going to find the juicy stuff. So first we're going to go to Amazon.com. Then we're going to use our top keyword or long tail keyword to search for a product that is very much like your product. It could look different. It could have slightly different features, but we want to stay within the same product type. Okay, we can assume the product listing at the top, like I said, is making relatively large profits. Now, if it's a listing that's very plain, they're making those profits because Amazon has ownership of that, right? So that means Amazon has actually bought their product, purchased their product from them, and they now have full control of that listing. We don't want to do that. We don't want to use those either. We want to use the ones that talk about that use actual sales copy that convert people to sales. Just so you know, Scope also has a free plugin version, and it gives you some of the results, although it doesn't give you everything. Let's see here. So you can also use Jungle Scout. It's great. Celix is great. Ace Inspector I really like. That's where I started with Ace Inspector a while ago. So if you haven't already, you're going to download and open your competitive analysis spreadsheet, and you're going to review at least 5 listings. I'll show you how to do one, just so that I'm saving you some time here. So we're going to look at the questions and responses, so you know what questions you need to answer in your listing. We're going to look at the objections, right? And we're going to look at how your product overcomes these objections with your features and benefits and the transformation they expect to create. We're going to look for a hot button and trance words, right? So these are words that you see kind of as a trend over and over again. So you know that so you understand the language words and the power words that they're using. And we'll talk more about what the power words are later. So you sound like them when you're writing your listing, because we like people who are like us, and we buy from people who are like us, right? So we're also going to look at the uses, and this is the environment. Where would it be used? Preschools, daycares, home, business, office, etc. We're also going to pick up some of the really cool bullet point and title pieces that we love, that we're inspired by, and then we can change them around a little bit. And then we're going to group them all together into themes. Sounds like a lot, but I promise we're going to get through this. So let's go back to, see here, we need to go get our competitive analysis spreadsheet here, which is in my files. Okay, so give me a second here. This is going to be, here we go. Template for competitive analysis, trance words, objections. Just in case you have it saved in Microsoft already. Okay, so there's a lot here we're going to fill in. And some of this you may already intuitively know. Some of this you may not. So it's important, instead of guessing what our customers want to see so they'll buy, that we know what they want to see so they'll buy, right? So let's go over to Amazon.com. Let's do something different. Let's go to, what have we not done yet? We have not used, it's a big one, dog chew toys. Actually, we're not going to do environment for that one. Let me go to something different. Daycare cots for kids, for toddlers, daycare cots. Okay. So again, you're going to ignore, if you have Scope, or you have Ace Inspector, or a Celix software, or you have Jungle Scout, or one of those softwares, you can usually you can figure out who's doing the most revenue. So I usually come into Scope, and I sort by revenue, right? No, wrong way. Okay. Regalo My Cot Portable Toddler Bed, right? So you can go and you look at this. So I'm going to show you if this is a good listing to even analyze. Does it have reviews? Yes, it has reviews, right? So we can analyze this. Does it have questions? Hide this, right? Yes, it has questions. Are we going to be able to use the sales copy to get ideas as to what, like, different inspiration we can use, different words we can use within our sales copy? No. This is an Amazon marketing sponsored product. Okay, Amazon purchases this from them, and then they use very, very basic features down here. Okay, and the reason that they can do this is because they drive a ton of traffic. They give them priority. Okay, so let's see here. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to go, let's open this back up again, make sure that it's in side by side. Here we go. And again, you can go to outside blogs and forums and find this out as well. And look for forums and blogs that solve the problem, or look for pages and for groups on Facebook that solve the same problem your product solves. So this is Regalo, right? So let's look at questions first. And you're going to find yourself filling in, you know, like different areas as we go along. Even if you're looking at questions, you might find some cool things customers say and put those under objections, etc. Okay. So let's see here. Let's go to answer questions. There's a ton of answer questions here. Most only have like 5 or 6. We're looking for trends. So under questions, so they're looking for strip in the middle for support. I'm on the top question just in case you're not seeing where I'm at. Uncomfortable. We also know, oh, hey, look, these are also objections. Okay. These are objections people have with other people's products that provide the same solution that yours does, the same outcome. People are looking for dimensions, so we need to make sure that we answer that in our listing. Let's see here. Could this flip over? Flip over. Is it safe for babies? By the way, there's a trend right here. Flip over. Is it safe? Safe for toddlers, right? Safe for babies. Definitely not safe for babies. They're answering that it would be safe for this specific age range. Okay, so more questions. Let's see here. Replacement sheets. I wouldn't answer that question personally. If someone needs to replace, you don't want anybody to be thinking ahead about how I have to spend more money in the future, unless you have something that regularly requires replacement parts. So, for example, like a flashlight, you know, and it uses rechargeable batteries, so that's a positive. So you can say uses rechargeable batteries, you'll spend a lot less on batteries. Let's see here. A bar that runs across it that would make it uncomfortable. Again, uncomfortable. Someone's asking about middle support. Again, and someone's asking about uncomfortable. Comfortable. Again. Now, who can guess why they would be asking that? Because these guys put 2 kids on the thing right here, right? And it looks like there's something in the middle. It looks like it doesn't evenly support you as you sleep. I'm just guessing. But after, you know, like a decade of doing this, you know, it's pretty easy for me to guess and be spot on. And you'll come to that place too, where you just start thinking like a psychologist and be able to do this without having to do all of this additional work. You'll kind of say, okay, your brain will start tuning into what you need to look at right away instead of having to read the whole thing. Let's see here. Asking if anybody's used a top cotton mat. That's not pertinent to your products. This is a typo. Months. Let's see here. Size when folded up. So again, dimensions. Dimensions when folded up. Now the reason we're doing this is because this is part of a theme, right? So we can see, talking about middle support, uncomfortable, uncomfortable, you know, and they're talking about the bar in the middle support, right? So these are things you'll want to hit on. People are asking about this. Does it fit in carry-on luggage? Unless yours folds up really small, I wouldn't hit on that. Weight of the child. They're going to want to know that. Let's see here. Again with carry-on luggage. So I guess maybe we'll say if it fits small enough into your carry-on luggage, you're going to want to say that. So we've seen that twice now. Luggage. Weight limit. There it is again. Weight limit. Instead of a toddler bed, right? And there's someone again saying not good back support. So this is about back support, uncomfortable back support. So you just go through these questions, right? And you go through, you know, a whole bunch of questions, as many as you can get your hands on. If you, and the, you know, it's like, okay, well, this is time consuming, yes. But if you really want to, you know, hit those hot buttons in your customer's brain, you really need to know this stuff. Where can I get replacement corner pieces? You might mention here that, you know, someone broke the cot. Let's see, 5-year-old. So that's kind of an objection that you're going to receive. You can look for complaints other people have. Broke the cot. I'm going to show you how to find more of those shortly. And it's specific to other people's products. Okay. Will he fit? Again, weight. So height, weight. Weight of child's. Will they fit? Okay. Weight limit again. Weight limit again. This is a huge one. We're seeing this everywhere. So when I start seeing it that much, I just kind of start ignoring it and then say, let's see here. Where did it go? Will they fit? Oh, it's right there. So I'd highlight that as a main one because we're seeing it all over the place. You could also tally next to it and be like, okay, I saw one, you know, to figure out, we're figuring out what the most important questions are, the most important things to focus on are, right? Let's see here. Could a 23-pound, 8-month-old sleep in it? Again, weight. Slide under the couch. That's about size, dimensions. Will it fit? Where is the, will it fit carry-on luggage? So we're looking at dimensions. Will it fit into? And then we can group dimensions down here. Carry-on luggage, under bed, closet is one that I saw. So we could get rid of this right here because now we know. Now let's see here, delete. And this is folded up, not folded up, right? Do you see how this is kind of becoming something where you start really understanding what your customer actually cares about your product, not just what I might think is cool about your product, right? Slide under the couch, does it lock in place? That's about safety. Middle support uncomfortable, flip over, safe for toddlers. Safe for babies. No, it was not safe for babies. Does it lock in place or will it fold up when child gets up in the middle of this misspelled knife? Is it safe to use for 1-month holiday? Let's see here. People are talking about using it again for travel. That's so funny. So, holiday, travel. Okay, so you get the point. Keep going through there looking for questions. You can look for responses as well. I didn't see any really super great responses in there. So a response for this might be, you know, usually responses from the company specifically. They might say, yes, there is a, you know, titanium bar in the center that supports weight up to, and again, that's why they're asking is, you know, what does it support? Weight up to XX pounds, right? Let's see here. And responses aren't nearly as important, but it's kind of important. It's kind of good to know if our competitors are responding to the questions and how they're responding. So let's see here. More things like standard crib sheet, you know, the size, people will be able to tell that. So there's size again, height, weight limit, will it fit onto, flip over. Where's our dimensions? Will a crib, oops. Let's see here. Crib sheet fit. Okay, so okay, sorry. So you can go through questions, go through all the questions. Do that for, if you don't get, if you get, basically you want to go through at least your top 3 competitors. If you don't see trends in those, you might want to do more. If your competitors only have a few questions each answered for your specific product type, then you'll want to go through even more. You want to get a good volume of questions so you know what to focus on. Usually I try to get about between 15 and 20, right? And then a lot of them will just be singles. So if we have room, we mention it, like they were only mentioned once or twice. But a lot of them, like this one, the height, weight of the child, and the weight limit, that's huge. And it's amazing so many people have to continue asking that question without them putting that into their listing, right? So next thing, let's go back here. And we are going to go to, let's see here, customer reviews. 2 really important things about customer reviews. We want to look at the ones people who really liked it and grab the words they're using and the reasons why they really liked it. Let's go to customer reviews. There we go. And then we want to look at the ones who really didn't like it and use those and say, hey, is my product better than this product? Is my product better than this product because my product does solve this problem or doesn't have this issue, right? So we're going to go to, let's see here. So someone else says, great for travel sleepovers. So we're going to read through this. You get used to it. Search technically long time. Let's see. So let's talk about customer persona. Real quick, let's jump back into that. This person's a mom. They have a little kid. You could write just to this person if you want. Or you can say, okay, well, I know that this kind of fits my customer persona. So imagine writing to Tara Padilla and, explaining to her why this would be the best. Oh, scopes down for maintenance. That's awesome. Why it would be the best, solution to her problem. Let's see here. Fit perfectly under the desk, right? So they're using terms like fit perfectly. Okay. So you want to look for terms, and you're looking for kind of more repetitive terms that are descriptive. Let's see here. So these are hot button trance words and phrases down here, right? So fit perfectly. And for this particular thing, they said under desk. Okay, so wasn't heavy at all. Wasn't heavy at all. Let's see here. Okay. Going through this. Traveling. There's another person traveling. Those people were traveling and moving. These people are traveling. This is huge for traveling. So where's my use one? Where's my use? Uses. Traveling. You're going to want to focus a lot on how useful it is for traveling. How useful it is for, grandparents' house. We saw that. How useful it is for, let's see, so we can do this each for each one. Traveling, grandparents' house, for moving, cross country or moving out of the country. We've seen that one. Let's see here. I actually have a really funny story. I had a client I wrote about one of these for, and they were obsessed with that. They were obsessed that they were used in tents for camping, right? And I went through reviews, and I'm like, I see nowhere that people are buying these for kids to go camping. They tell their kids to just lay on the, get in your sleeping bag and lay on the tent floor. So it's really important that we don't assume that that's the reason for it. We go and we actually look. So restless sleeper. So let's go back up. That's a good one to use. So we would say, fits perfectly, restless sleeper. These are words we'd use specifically in our sales copy. Let's see, lighter and easier to set up. Easier to set up. All right, let's see here. Sturdy and built awesome. I don't know that you'd use awesome. Restart later. Goodness gracious. Okay, so for the price, that's a big one. So someone said for the price. Okay. I love this cot. A lot of people have also said, my granddaughter loves this cot. My son loves this cot. So you want to look for things like that. Like that's a big word. Loves, loves, loves. These people like the word loves. Loves this cot. So you're going to want to use this. Kids love this cot. These people are focused on value, right? So we need to keep an eye on that and see if there are other people who are focused more on value. For the price, you cannot beat this cot. There it is again. There's another one on value. So you know the people who are buying these cots, they are value and price focused, right? They might just be straight up cost and low price focused, but it seems like they're also asking about the quality of it. But notice how right now nobody is asking about how long lasting it is. Okay, so they're looking at something where it's like, okay, they're not looking at the value, like how long, what's the quality and how long will it last. They're not asking about toxins and the materials. They're not asking about the health consciousness. They're talking about the price. I need to put my kid off of the floor on something, or my grandkid off the floor on something as they visit, travel, etc. A lot of people are focusing on price, right? Okay, so let's see here. Waterproof sheet was a big one. The reason that the waterproof sheet would be important is kids drinking water or bedwetters. So if it comes with one, highlight it. If not, make a point to overcome that objection. So, and we'll go over how to do that in upcoming modules. Let's see here. Great for a toddler. She likes sleeping on it. Teenager sits on the end of it and collapses it flat. Goes right back into its proper shape and function. Hard to keep a toddler from jumping on it. That's an objection. Hard to keep a toddler from jumping on it. And this may be true of all cots, but just something still to write down. Teenager sat on it and collapsed it. A lifesaver. I like words like that. So you're looking for, if someone says a lifesaver, right? These cots are a lifesaver. Okay, so you're going to go through and you're going to pull out those, right? Great purchase and something every parent should have. So when someone's saying great purchase, they are still focused on the cost. Okay, great purchase. Did I get my value? Was it a great price? Did I get what I felt like I got? It's a great purchase. Okay, let's go to the other sections. And again, you're going to go through the reviews. Oh, let's go through the negative reviews. Sorry, I forgot to show you that. So, let's see here. It's about durability. Product ripped in 3 days, not even a week. There again, they're using sturdy and reliable. So objections to other products were not sturdy, reliable, ripped in, ripped in 3 days, right? So you would use this in your copy saying something like, your keywords. So, cots for toddlers are unsturdy, unreliable, and rip in under a week. You'd say something like that. Our cot is our, keyword, whatever your keyword is XYZ. And then, like the benefits, right? And the transformation it provides. So we're going to go into that in a later module, so you don't have to write this down. But just to give you an idea of where we would use this and why we need to know what's bad about the competitor's product is so we can position ours as better. Frame bent, not sturdy. Frame bent, right? So you'd add that up above to right here. With easily bendable frames, flimsy frames, soft frame. You want to use soft, but use those. Use words like the ones that they're using. Again, sturdy. Again, not sturdy. Not comfortable. Let's see here. Okay, so there again, someone's saying she absolutely loved it, right? So we're seeing again, loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. My son loves it. My toddler loves it. My daughter loves it. It's in a negative review. It's in a 1-star review, but they're still saying that, let's see here. They're saying bar bent. Let's see here. So bar bent. So it's not sturdy, not well made, right? These are objections. So, worst purchases I've ever made. There again has to do with value and cost. No locking mechanism. That's a big one. So it just collapses. Someone's a little bit too heavy and it collapses. A huge ridge in the middle. So it's not comfortable. Huge ridge in the middle. Uncomfortable, right? And there's the one thing. Thought this would be great for camping. We found camping. Bent doesn't lay flat anymore. Doesn't lay flat anymore. Now, you have something to understand is that these people may not be looking for something that they can use for like 10 years. Obviously, this is for a kid of a specific size, a specific age. But they do want it to last long enough to get what they believe is the best use out of it. Something to mention is if you know how long your product lasts because you've done tests or you believe it lasts that long, mention that. There it is, waste of money. These people are conscious of money. Where do we put that? Let's see here, for the price. So people say waste of money. So don't waste money on, you say something like don't waste money on cheaply made knockoffs, right? And you'll see how we use this bullet point use this in our copy and writing our actual listing later. But that's just kind of an idea. So don't waste money. See how they're using the words waste money? You want to say don't waste money. Don't bother. It's another one. Don't bother. And you write down the negative ones down here too. Don't bother. And why did they say idea is great, terrible products? Head and feet below their midsection. That's improper back alignment. And I'm actually going to move this as well up here. A second here. Right up here. Right. Okay. So doesn't fold down all the way, slides too easily. Doesn't fold down all the way. Slides too, and that's two different things. Slides too easily. Way too short for my 7-year-olds. Okay, there we go back again to size. Sports strap that goes right across center. Completely dissatisfied with this cot. You can say leaving you feeling dissatisfied. Weak. Let's see here. Oh, I gotta go back to where I was writing. So you would say, well, most cots for toddlers are unsturdy, unreliable, and rip in under a week, leaving you feeling dissatisfied. Satisfied with your purchase, because we've seen a lot of people use your purchase. You can say our keyword, is, and you're basically saying it's the opposite of, right? Our keyword is the opposite of that. So what's the opposite of that? What are the benefits that you use to overcome those objections, right? So go through these. Someone again says complete waste of money. I think I put that down here. Complete waste of money, right? Garbage. They are talking about, again, the quality and durability. But we don't want to just say quality and durability because we don't just want to say quality and durability. Sorry, because that sounds like white noise. So we've gone through the 5-star reviews. And if there's not a lot of 5 stars, you can go through the 4 stars as well. We've gone through the 1-star reviews. If there aren't a lot of those, go through the 2 stars as well. But do this for 3 to 5 of the top products. Your goal is probably to go through at least 50 different reviews amongst all these products. Sometimes if it's a really tough product, really competitive, I'll go through like 200, right? So then you want to talk about, so here's the copy, right? This is how we're going to enter into the copy, and I'll show you how to do that later. There's lots of bullet point templates and title templates, and I'll show you exactly how we're going to do that. So don't worry about that right now. Now you want to find out how your product overcomes these objections, right? So first of all, we went through questions. We went through responses. I don't think I put anything else over here. Oh, bullet point pieces I love. We can't do that on this listing because there's no bullet point pieces that you love. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. We'll do another one of these for bullet point pieces so you can find bullet point pieces that you love. So you have the objections. You have their trance words, their hot button words. You know what to say and what not to say, right, in specific language. You have the uses. Traveling's a huge one. Grandparents' house, moving, bedwetters. We had one for camping. Right, but that might be more of a camping cot. And by the way, don't say it's a camping cot if for some reason your product can get moldy if it gets wet all the time. Just a heads up on that. I'm sure you already thought that one through. Okay, so strip in the middle for support, the objection, right? So how does your product overcome this objection? Do you have a unique design? Do you have a specific tank? Let's see, do you have a unique design? Is it designed uniquely in some way? And then you want to talk about, what that is. Is it uncomfortable? Yours has comfy support technology, right? And I'll teach you how to make up a hypnotic anchor, which boils like 7 words down into one and shows that you really put a lot of attention and effort into creating this product so it overcomes their problems. Broke the cot. Is it tank durable? Is it made of, a specific type of metal that allows it to be unbendable even under like 300 pounds? Right? Let's see here. And again, these are the features your product uses to overcome these objections. Is it hard to keep a toddler from jumping on it? You can't really do much about that. But, if you've had toddlers, you can't really do much about that. But it might help to mention that it will not, there's AMZ Blitz, will not collapse or tip even when jumped on. Will not bend, warp, etc., right, even when jumped on. Teenager sat in it and collapsed it. Same thing right here. So will not collapse, locks into place. And again, this is about product features right here. These are features that you have, right? So your unique design, no middle support needed. Okay, so not sturdy, not reliable, ripped in 3 days. So I'm going to take this and move this down here as an example. There we go. So not sturdy, not reliable, ripped in 3 days. Okay, so you're going to talk about the sturdiness of each component. Okay, so and then the whole unit. So you're going to talk about the sturdiness of the metals used. You can talk about the sturdiness of the screws used, if they're important, or the ratchets that hold it together. You're going to talk about the sturdiness of any materials used. You're going to talk about the sturdiness of the whole unit, and that goes back to creating a hypnotic anchor technology, which we'll talk about in a later module. Same thing, not sturdy, frame bent, not sturdy, not comfortable. Not comfortable actually goes up in, up here. These could all go together. So this is called grouping a theme. Okay, oops. Not comfortable, uncomfortable. Right, so we know this is really important to people. Not sturdy, ripped in 3 days, frame bent. And this tells you what objections you're overcoming. What do I have to say about my product? So people are like, oh, hey, I'm not going to have the same problems as the other person. Bar bent, same thing. Frame bent, bar bent. No locking mechanism. That goes back to safety, right? So does yours have a locking mechanism? Is it safer, right? What is the feature? Give that feature a name. Give it a name with a locking mechanism because people care about that locking mechanism. High ridge in the middle, again, about uncomfortable. So this is grouping themes, okay? Strip in the middle, high ridge in the middle. So they're really saying it's uncomfortable. You want to focus on that. Let's see here, shift cells up. Bent does not lay flat anymore. That's about the sturdiness, right? But we can't just say it's ultra sturdy and it's ultra durable. We have to talk about why it's ultra sturdy, why it's ultra durable, and why that's important, and why that solves their problem, and why other competitors aren't, and how other competitors aren't, right? And we'll get to that as we're writing the copy, but just something to remember. We always have to justify. Okay, so it doesn't lay flat anymore. It doesn't fold down out of the way. Let's see here. I can't actually do that on here. So, doesn't lay flat anymore. We already have bar bent up there. This one for doesn't fold down out of the way. Okay, slides too easily. That's a safety issue. So, we're looking at, this should actually be over here. Broke the cots. Put it in there. Broke the cots. So we're going to put this right, move this up here. And again, we're just grouping themes. We're looking at what do these people really care about. Okay, and you can pay a marketing agency, a marketing firm like, hundreds of thousands of dollars to find everything out about your customers, or you can just go through and find your customer's persona and go through forums and Amazon and do this, right? So it doesn't fold down all the way. We only saw that one time. Slides too easily. This is a safety thing. So we're going to come up here and we're going to say, oh, we can't. Okay. So this is about safety. Slides too easily. Teenager sat on it and collapsed it. My wonder is why nobody has mentioned, fingers getting pinched. It's kind of funny. Delete that. Completely waste of money, garbage. Again, here we go back to that value thing. How is yours going to deliver them value for a long, 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 long time? Delivers value, engineered from, you'd say the type of material, so like titanium, from, PVC reinforced titanium alloy, right? Forced. There you go. Titanium alloy. So it's guaranteed to last, guaranteed to outlast your child's bed or something like that. Okay. Okay, so let's go find some, and here are themes, right? So I was just putting them to remind you to group themes. So you can group your themes down here, or you can just keep them here. Okay, I like to keep mine up here just because it's like, okay, I know what I'm looking for. So you know how to find questions now that you need to answer, the most important ones. You know how to figure out what objections people have to buying products like yours and objections they have to to kind of poke it to basically when you're fighting these objections, you're poking at, you're positioning yourself and your product as better than your competitor's product. Your company, your product is better than your competitor's product. Very important on Amazon. It's a competition, right? So you know how to find the hot button transwords and phrases for the different things that people, for the different reasons people buy and for the different reasons they appreciated or did not appreciate that product. And you know how to find the uses to focus on. Okay, so instead of saying, can be used traveling, grandparents' house, moving, bedwetting, camping, bicycling, Girl Scouts, blah, 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 blah. Like, use the ones that people, keep it focused, and use the ones that people already are looking, the reason they're searching for it in the first place. I hope that makes sense. So, sorry, I'm trying to take up here. Bullet point pieces I love. Let's go find another one. So this is a portable toddler bed, right? Let's see. There's your Gallo again. Let's see if these guys have, and that's a really fun one because that's a portable toddler bed, but we need to look for a portable toddler cot. Okay. Regalo. Let's go see how these guys are doing. So, you're going to see this in their listing, and I'll tell you why. I wrote this listing. So, and they just received it like, right about a week and a half ago at the time that I'm recording this. So, anyhow, you would go through these bullet points and find out like, things you really like about it. So their brand really, they care about kids a lot. So you might want to mention like, oh, hey, I did this because I care about kids of all shapes and sizes, right? If you like the word cranky awakenings, you might go and use that and say, well, I may not necessarily use that, but I might decide to try to formulate something else like that. Look for words that they use to refer to the person using it. So for example, kiddos, okay? Instead of just saying kids, can you say kiddos, little ones, toddlers, school agers, etc. if it applies to your product. Let's see here. Won't sag. We saw the word sag a lot when we were looking at specific competitors. This is for a daycare. These are made for daycare. So the reason, if you think about this here, so the reason that people are mad about this bar in the middle is because it doesn't support them. So the kids don't get enough support, and so they fall into that bar. So we talked about reinforced durability and how much it supports, right? Everybody was asking, wait. So you want to create some other thing, like instead of 2x reinforced durability, you'd want to use this and say, okay, well, I really like this, but I want to say something else about my product, like you can create a hypnotic anchor like Titan Force reinforced, or Titan Force no sag durability or something, right? No sag. Okay, let's see here. We mentioned there are extra support brackets in all four corners. Remember in the last one we saw that they busted, right? And that the material had ripped out? We don't want that. We want to show that, hey, this is going to be the best thing. People were asking, where does it fit? Space-saving design, stacking, setup, and cleanup is a breeze, right? So this one doesn't fold down, but we want to focus on, like looking like, oh, space-saving, I like that word. I think I'm going to grab that. Easily pulls apart when you need it. And again, this was for daycares and this is for a stackable. But you can go through and find another cot, and this is just kind of the gist of it. Stashes away. These are not bland words you would see in a... these are not bland words that you would see in like a, regular listing. In case you're going to go through and pull out words like that. You can do that in the title, the description, etc., etc., etc. The other thing I like to do is for the top performers, excuse me, and we're going to go into this in another module. Top performers like to go through and say, okay, it's top performer. What's their listing look like? Or what's their title look like? Okay, it's top title, right? And that does not look good. That's why I do this on a different sheet. What do their bullet points look like? Are they longer? Are they shorter? What are they talking about? These guys are getting the most sales, so go and look at that because a lot of times they've done customer research. Either they're guessing and checking or they've done customer research, right? So let's see here. So that is pretty much it. So what you're going to want to do, give me a second here. I'm going to go back to, I think we're here. So you're going to want to go through, just as a review, you're going to find the questions and responses so you know what to answer in your listing. You're going to find the objections. You're going to find the hot button and trance words in the reviews. You're going to go through, find the uses, right? You're going to find the bullet point. And you can, by the way, even if people don't say they're using it for that on a different listing, if you know you can position it to be used in a preschool or daycare because it's commercial grade or used in an office because it's office grade, you can do that. You can still mention that. But just, if it's an individual use, not a business use, mention the individual uses. So, and then bullet point and title pieces you love, right? So, if you haven't already, you need to pick a product and complete one competitive analysis Excel spreadsheet. I don't know why it says see the video below. It should see spreadsheet below since this is the video. And then remember, if you have any questions, please do feel free to email me. I am here to answer your questions. Thank you guys so much. We will see you on the next module. If I can actually get it to go to the next module. Let's see here. Oh, there it was.